The door explodes inward at 2:17 a.m. Wood fragments scatter across hardwood floors like shrapnel. 3 silhouettes storm through the wreckage. Detective Marcus Crawford leads with his weapon drawn. Sergeant Kyle Hoffman follows, flashlight beam cutting through darkness. Behind them, Captain Richard Stevens surveys the destruction with cold calculation. Vanessa Bennett jolts upright in bed. Tank top twisted, sheets tangled around her legs. Harsh LED light blinds her momentarily. "Hands where I can see them." Crawford's voice cuts like broken glass. She raises her hands slowly, deliberately. Her eyes adjust to the chaos. Furniture overturned, drawers yanked open, her kitchen cabinet door hanging loose. "What's the warrant number?" Her voice carries no panic, only precision. "We don't need to explain ourselves to you, sweetheart." Hoffman's sneer drips with contempt. Crawford moves to the kitchen. His hands work with practiced efficiency, too practiced. He slides a small plastic bag deep into the cabinet behind cereal boxes, pulls it back out 3 seconds later. Well, look what we found. Methamphetamine catches the flashlight beam. White crystals in clear plastic. Vanessa's lips curve into the faintest smile. On her nightstand, an encrypted phone charges silently. 15 feet away, her federal credentials folder sits in plain view on the dresser. They walked right past it. Stevens steps forward, handcuffs gleaming. "You're under arrest for possession with intent to distribute." As the metal clicks around her wrists, Vanessa speaks clearly toward their body cameras. "I'm being arrested based on planted evidence. The officers conducted an illegal search without probable cause or warrant." "Shut your mouth," Crawford hisses. But Vanessa isn't finished. Her eyes track each man's badge number. She notes exact times on the digital clock. When Hoffman roughly searches her dresser, she memorizes his face. Because Vanessa Bennett isn't their victim. She's been investigating them for 12 years. And tonight they just gave her everything she needs to destroy them. If you believe that no one should ever face false arrest through planted evidence, type justice below. Then comment your country and city. Let's see where people stand against police corruption worldwide. Your participation shows that accountability knows no borders. 3 weeks earlier, Vanessa sits in a nondescript sedan 2 blocks from the police station. Her encrypted laptop displays surveillance footage spanning 12 years. Hundreds of arrests, dozens of officers, all connected by a single thread, planted evidence. Her investigation began in 2013 when she was assigned to the Public Corruption Unit. A defense attorney claimed his client was framed. Most cops dismissed it. Vanessa didn't. She dug deeper, found patterns. 1 arrest became 10. 10 became 50. The conspiracy revealed itself slowly but completely. She watches video from 2015. Crawford plants cocaine during a traffic stop. His movements identical to tonight's performance. Same practiced efficiency. Same false discovery. The driver received 5 years. His life destroyed by lies packaged in plastic. Vanessa documented everything. Body camera footage, evidence logs, witness statements. A machine designed to produce convictions regardless of guilt. Her phone buzzes. Text from Assistant Director Daniel Mitchell. "Status update." She types back, "Foundation complete. Waiting for the moment." 12 years of patience compressed into 7 words. Mitchell trusts her judgment. That moment arrived 2 days ago when she intercepted communications about a new operation. Crawford received an anonymous tip about her apartment. The tip came from an informant she knows is fabricated. She reviews the tip report. Detailed claims about drug distribution, specific times, alleged transactions, all fiction creating probable cause in corrupt minds. They're coming for her. She knows their patterns. The raid will happen within 72 hours, probably at night. Definitely violent. She prepares methodically, places federal credentials in plain sight, positions encrypted phone on nightstand, ensures hidden digital recorder captures every angle, sets emergency beacon to activate automatically. Vanessa doesn't fear the raid. She orchestrated it. Every piece of evidence they'll plant, every violation they'll commit, every word they'll speak, all documented, recorded, preserved for federal court. Crawford thinks he's hunting a drug dealer. He's walking into a trap built with 12 years of patience and precision. The anonymous tip that triggered this raid, Vanessa wrote it herself through an intermediary, led them directly to her door. Sometimes the best way to catch corruption is to become its target. For 3 days, Detective Crawford watched Vanessa Bennett's apartment. He had no idea she was watching him back. Day 1. Crawford parks his unmarked sedan across the street at 6 a.m. Perfect sightline to her third-floor window. He photographs her leaving for work. Navy blazer, professional briefcase. She walks 3 blocks to the metro station. Returns at 6:47 p.m. Normal routine. Exactly what Vanessa wants him to see. What Crawford doesn't see: counter-surveillance equipment tracking his every move. Cameras hidden in neighboring buildings. Audio recording devices picking up phone conversations. GPS tracker she attached to his vehicle 6 months ago. She knows he arrives at 5:53 a.m. each morning. Knows he drinks gas station coffee. Black. 2 sugars. Every detail documented. Day 2. Crawford grows confident. He's watching a routine target. Boring job, predictable schedule, easy mark. He runs her name through unofficial databases. Criminal history clean. Employment records show government work. Nothing specific. Generic administrative position. He assumes clerk, maybe social services. Definitely not someone who matters. Hoffman joins him afternoon shift. They discuss the operation in Crawford's car. Vanessa's long-range audio captures every word. She looks soft, Hoffman says. Easy intimidation. Crawford agrees. We go in hard. 2 a.m. Maximum shock value. They laugh about previous raids, share stories of suspects crying, begging, breaking. This one will fold in 5 minutes, Crawford predicts. Vanessa listens to the recording 3 times. Each boast, each threat. Evidence for her federal case. Day 3. Crawford photographs Vanessa through her window. She moves through living room, cooks dinner, watches television. Completely unaware, or so he thinks. Vanessa positions herself deliberately, creates illusion of vulnerability. She wants him confident. Overconfidence breeds mistakes. That evening, Crawford meets Stevens at a diner 12 blocks from the station. Vanessa's team follows. Audio equipment captures conversation through the window. You're certain about this tip? Stevens asks. Crawford nods. Source is reliable. Says she's been dealing for months. Stevens studies surveillance photos. She doesn't look like a dealer. Crawford shrugs. They never do until we find the product. Stevens approves the operation. No warrant. Anonymous tip provides sufficient justification in their corrupted procedure. Make it clean, he instructs. Plant it where she can't claim ignorance. Kitchen cabinet, bedroom drawer, somewhere obvious. Crawford confirms understanding. They've executed this dozens of times, different targets, same method, perfect record. What could possibly go wrong? Vanessa reviews the diner recording in her apartment. Stevens' order to plant evidence spoken clearly. Crawford's confirmation equally explicit. Conspiracy to violate civil rights captured on federal surveillance equipment. She uploads audio to encrypted servers, backs it up to 3 separate federal databases, notifies Mitchell through secure channels. They're planning the raid for tonight. 2 a.m., evidence planting confirmed. Mitchell's response arrives instantly. All units on standby. Federal warrants prepared. Good luck. 12 years crystallizing into one operation. Vanessa checks equipment one final time. Digital recorder hidden in bedroom lamp. Active. Body camera backup system recording. Emergency beacon. Armed. Encrypted phone. Fully charged. Federal credentials. Positioned perfectly. Everything ready. She lies down at 11:47 p.m. Sets no alarm. Sleep comes easily. 12 years of preparation creates confidence. She knows what's coming, knows how they'll enter, knows what they'll plant, knows every word they'll speak. She studied their patterns obsessively, memorized their tactics, predicted their actions with scientific precision. At 1:30 a.m., Crawford's team assembles 3 blocks away. Final equipment check, battering ram, flashlights, body cameras activated per department policy. They have no idea those cameras will destroy their careers. Stevens delivers final instructions via radio. Hard entry, quick search, plant and discover standard procedure that's actually systematic criminal enterprise. Crawford drives past Vanessa's building one final time. All lights off. Target sleeping. Perfect conditions. He radios the team. Execute in 5 minutes. They move into position. Check weapons. Prepare for entry. Confidence high. Suspicion 0. None realize they're not hunting a drug dealer. They're triggering a federal trap 12 years in the making. Vanessa lies in bed, eyes open in darkness, listening, waiting, ready. The door will explode inward in exactly 4 minutes, and when it does, everything changes. 12 years of patience, 12 years of documentation, 12 years of watching corrupt officers destroy innocent lives. Tonight it ends. Tonight justice comes. Tonight the trap snaps shut. Crawford checks his watch. 2:15 a.m. Time to move. Time to execute. Time to commit the crime that will end his career and vindicate every victim he ever framed. The methamphetamine in the kitchen cabinet wasn't there when they entered. It would be there when they left. 2:17 a.m. The battering ram hits Vanessa's door with devastating force. Metal hinges scream, wood splinters. The frame buckles inward. Crawford storms through first, weapon drawn. Flashlight cutting through darkness. Police search warrant. The lie comes automatic. They have no warrant. Never did. Hoffman follows 2 steps behind. Beam sweeps living room. Family photos. Bookshelf filled with legal texts. Small desk with closed laptop. Nothing suggesting drug activity. Doesn't matter. They'll create evidence. Stevens enters last. Surveys scene with cold authority. Their 47th raid using identical tactics. Perfect record. Every target convicted. Tonight will be no different. Vanessa sits up in bed. Movements deliberate, calculated. Raises both hands, slowly. What's the warrant number? Voice carries across apartment. Clear, steady, no panic, just precise legal questioning. Crawford's flashlight finds her face. Young black woman, tank top. Vulnerable position. We don't need to explain ourselves to you, sweetheart. The condescension makes Vanessa's lip twitch. Barely noticeable. Her digital recorder catches it. So do their body cameras. Under the 4th Amendment, I have the right to see your warrant. Crawford moves closer. And under my authority, you have the right to shut your mouth. Hoffman begins the search. Rough. Destructive. Drawers yanked open. Contents dumped. Books swept from shelves. Creating chaos, establishing dominance, standard intimidation tactics Vanessa has studied for 12 years. She watches him work, memorizes badge number 4782, notes time on digital clock 2:19 a.m., documents every detail mentally. Stevens positions near bedroom door, observes, supervises. Ensures operation proceeds according to illegal protocols. His presence makes this conspiracy. Command-level corruption, leadership directing constitutional violations, the most valuable target in Vanessa's investigation. Crawford approaches kitchen. Body language shifts, more deliberate, more careful. He's about to perform the crucial step. Evidence planting that will justify this illegal operation. Vanessa watches through bedroom doorway. Perfect sightline. Her hidden recorder captures same angle, multiple cameras, multiple perspectives. Overwhelming documentation. Crawford's hand moves to jacket pocket. Smooth motion. Practiced gesture. Done this hundreds of times. Fingers close around small plastic bag. Clear plastic. White crystals. Street-grade methamphetamine. Purchased from evidence room supplies. Signed out under false case numbers. Repurposed for illegal operations. He glances back at Hoffman. Makes eye contact. Confirms partner is watching, witnessing, complicit. The bag slides into kitchen cabinet, behind cereal boxes, next to canned goods, positioned for easy discovery. Crawford pushes it deep, makes it look hidden, like Vanessa tried to conceal it. 3 seconds pass. Crawford reaches back into cabinet. Expression changes, manufactured surprise, theatrical discovery. Well, look what we found. Pulls the plastic bag forward, holds it to light. Methamphetamine crystals catch flashlight beam, sparkle like deadly diamonds. Stevens moves closer. Hoffman stops his search. All three focus on planted evidence. Street value about 5,000, Hoffman estimates. Crawford nods. Intent to distribute for sure. Stevens crosses arms. Bag it and tag it. Standard procedure, except the procedure is completely fabricated. Evidence planted, discovery staged. Entire operation built on systematic criminal conspiracy. Vanessa's expression remains neutral, almost bored. Her lack of panic confuses them. Most suspects explode, deny everything, cry, beg, break down. She does none of these, just watches with calculating eyes, like scientists observing rats in maze. That's exactly what they are, subjects in her 12-year experiment. Crawford approaches with handcuffs. Metal glints in LED light. You're under arrest for possession with intent to distribute. Vanessa extends wrists, cooperative, compliant. But as cuffs click shut, she speaks directly toward body cameras. I'm being arrested based on planted evidence. The officers conducted an illegal search without probable cause or warrant. I did not consent to this search. I'm requesting immediate legal counsel. Crawford's face darkens. Shut your mouth, Vanessa continues. I'm requesting a supervisor. I'm requesting a review of body camera footage. I'm requesting badge numbers for all officers present. Hoffman grabs her arm roughly. Move! She complies but keeps speaking. I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment rights. I'm requesting federal contact notification. Federal, the word hangs like poison gas. Stevens' expression changes. Subtle shift. First hint of concern. Most suspects don't use legal terminology this precise, don't know federal notification procedures. Who is this woman? They lead Vanessa through destroyed apartment. She catalogues every violation: excessive force, unlawful entry, evidence tampering, civil rights violations, each one documented, each one recorded, each one admissible. Her credentials folder still sits on dresser, visible, ignored. They're so focused on planted evidence they miss the real bomb. Outside, patrol cars idle with lights flashing. Neighbors watch from windows. Crawford pushes Vanessa toward nearest vehicle. Hoffman opens rear door. Steel cage separates front and back. They load her inside. Shut door, lock it, trap sealed, or so they think. But this isn't their trap. It's hers. And it just snapped shut around them. The computer screen flashed a single word that changed everything: federal. Crawford drives toward station. Hoffman rides shotgun. Stevens follows in separate vehicle. Standard procedure for high-value arrests, but nothing about tonight is standard. In back seat, Vanessa sits behind steel partition. Hands cuffed behind back, uncomfortable position, deliberately designed. Another intimidation tactic. The partition has small speaker hole. Crawford's voice filters through. You going to tell us who your supplier is? Vanessa doesn't respond. Hoffman turns around. Strong, silent type, huh? She maintains eye contact but says nothing. Her silence unnerves them more than any response. Normal suspects talk, babble, try to explain. She does none of these. We'll see how long that lasts, Crawford mutters. He adjusts rear-view mirror, studies her face. Something's off, can't identify what, just feeling. Instinct developed through 20 years. This woman isn't reacting normally, isn't showing appropriate fear. Her composure feels trained. He pushes the thought away. Through radio, dispatch crackles with routine calls, domestic disturbance on 5th Street, traffic stop on highway. The city's normal rhythm continues, unaware that federal investigation is reaching conclusion, unaware that 3 police careers are ending. Hoffman's voice drops to whisper, thinks Vanessa can't hear through partition. She can, crystal clear. You think she heard anything about the investigation? Crawford glances in mirror. What investigation? Hoffman pauses, realizes mistake. You know what investigation. Crawford's expression hardens. She can't know about that. But doubt creeps into his voice. The investigation Hoffman referenced is internal, confidential, rumors of federal oversight, whispers about corruption probes, nothing confirmed. Crawford dismissed it as gossip. Now Hoffman's words resurrect buried concerns. What if rumors are true? What if they're being watched? He pushes paranoia down. They've been careful, always careful. Planted evidence never traceable. Body camera footage controlled. Witnesses managed. Supervisors complicit. Perfect system built over decades. One arrest can't threaten it. He focuses on Vanessa in mirror. She's nothing. Nobody. Our target who happened to fight back verbally, but his hands grip steering wheel tighter than necessary. They arrive at station. Fluorescent lights turn night into artificial day. Crawford parks in prisoner transport zone. Security cameras track movements. Everything documented. Hoffman opens her door. Let's go. She slides out smoothly. Controlled movements despite handcuffs. No stumbling. Professional efficiency that catches Hoffman's attention. Stevens appears from his vehicle. Book her quick. Process before shift change. Urgency in voice. Get her into system fast. Bury her in paperwork. Standard procedure for planted evidence cases. Move too fast for scrutiny. Inside booking desk sergeant looks up. Officer Maya Foster processes overnight intakes. Young officer. 3 years on force. Still believes in system. What we got? Crawford grabs Vanessa's arm. Methamphetamine possession. Intent to distribute. Resisting arrest. Vanessa speaks immediately. I didn't resist arrest. Crawford glares. Shut up. Foster frowns. Something in Vanessa's voice doesn't match charges. Education, articulation, confidence. Most drug arrests are desperate people. This woman sounds like lawyer. Ma'am, you have the right to... Crawford interrupts. She knows her rights, won't shut up about them. Foster's frown deepens. Standard booking begins. Fingerprints first. Vanessa's fingers press against digital scanner. System processes. Cross-references federal databases, state databases, criminal history databases. Computer works through protocols, searching, comparing, analyzing. Crawford fills out arrest paperwork, fabricates details about raid, claims they observed drug transactions, claims they had probable cause, claims they found evidence in plain sight. Every line a lie, every statement falsified. His pen moves across form with practiced ease. He's written these false reports hundreds of times. Foster processes Vanessa's personal items. Wallet. Keys. Phone. The encrypted phone Crawford ignored. She opens wallet. Driver's license. Credit cards. Business cards. Pulls one out. Reads it. Expression changes. Says here you work for federal government. The booking area goes quiet. Crawford's pen freezes. What kind of federal work? Vanessa maintains silence. Doesn't need to speak. Her employment verification will talk. Foster types Vanessa's information into computer. Name, date of birth, social security number, system processes data, sends queries to federal employment databases, cross-references with law enforcement systems, monitor flickers, loading, processing, then screen changes. Red border appears around Vanessa's information. Warning flag, federal employee, law enforcement officer, active status. 12-year service record, current assignment, Public Corruption Unit, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Special Agent. Badge number displayed prominently. Foster's face goes pale. Detective. Voice barely whispers. You need to see this. Crawford approaches terminal. Reads screen. His face transforms. Color drains. Expression collapses. The words burn into retinas. FBI Special Agent. Public Corruption Unit. 12 years of service. He reads it 3 times, hoping it will change. It doesn't. They just arrested a federal agent. Not just any agent. An agent investigating public corruption. Hoffman peers over Crawford's shoulder. Breathing stops. Jesus Christ. Stevens appears in doorway, senses something wrong. What's the problem? Crawford can't speak, points at screen. Stevens reads display. Face matches Crawford's pallor. FBI, public corruption. Investigating their department. All rumors, all whispers, all paranoia. Suddenly confirmed. Vanessa Bennett isn't drug dealer. She's their worst nightmare. Crawford thought he was interrogating a suspect. He was actually confessing to a federal agent. Interview room 3. Gray walls. Metal table. Single chair bolted to floor. Fluorescent light flickering overhead. Crawford enters with thick file folder, props it on table with theatrical flair designed to intimidate. Vanessa sits calmly, hands no longer cuffed, but fingerprints still fresh. She studies Crawford's body language, notes tension, sees, tells. 12 years of federal training reads him like children's book. "Let's talk about your drug business." Crawford opens with aggression. Standard interrogation tactic. Establish dominance early, except Vanessa controls this narrative, has controlled it for 12 years. "I don't have a drug business." Voice stays level, professional. No emotion, just facts. Crawford leans back. "We found methamphetamine in your kitchen cabinet. High-grade stuff. Street value around $5,000. Planted evidence. 2 words, simple, direct, devastating." Crawford's eye twitches, barely noticeable. Vanessa catches it. So does security camera in corner, red recording light blinking steadily. "That's a serious accusation." Crawford's confidence cracks slightly. "It's a documented fact." Crawford opens file folder, pages of fabricated reports. Fictional surveillance notes, manufactured evidence chains. "Says here you've been dealing for months." Vanessa doesn't look at papers, keeps eyes on Crawford's face. "Your paperwork is fiction." Direct challenge, no hesitation. Crawford's hands tighten on folder. "Multiple witnesses saw drug activity at your address. Name one witness." Vanessa leans forward slightly. Pressure applied strategically. Crawford's pause stretches too long. He's improvising. "Anonymous sources." Vanessa's expression doesn't change. Anonymous sources don't exist in federal court. They don't meet the Sixth Amendment's confrontation clause. Federal court Sixth Amendment. Legal terminology that sounds wrong from supposed drug dealer. Crawford shifts in chair. "You think federal court is going to save you?" Vanessa meets his eyes, holds them. "I think federal court is where this ends. The double meaning lands." Crawford feels it. Hoffman enters without knocking, whispers something urgent. Crawford's face hardens. Step outside. They leave Vanessa alone. Through thin walls she hears heated discussion. The computer flagged her as federal law enforcement. Hoffman's voice carries panic. "So what? She's a drug dealer who happens to work for government." Crawford's denial sounds desperate. "Detective, this is dangerous territory. We arrested an FBI agent." Hoffman's concern cuts through Crawford's confidence. "She's a suspect, that's all. The evidence doesn't lie." But his voice lacks conviction. Because evidence does lie. He made it lie, planted it, and now it's trapping him. Vanessa uses time alone to catalogue every violation. Miranda rights delayed, phone call denied, excessive force, illegal interrogation tactics. Each violation strengthens her case. She glances at security camera, knows Mitchell is watching, knows federal response is mobilizing. Crawford returns alone, slams door harder than necessary. Trying to re-establish dominance through aggression won't work on someone with Vanessa's training. "Let's try this again. Who supplies your methamphetamine?" Vanessa doesn't respond immediately. Let silence build. Then speaks with devastating calm. "I think you've been under federal investigation for 2 years." The room goes silent except for flickering light. Crawford's face drains. "What did you say?" Vanessa continues, voice steady. "Operation Iron Shield. Ring any bells?" Crawford's hands shake slightly. "Operation Iron Shield. Codename is classified. Only federal investigators and high-level corruption targets know that name. How does she know?" "How do you know about—" Crawford can't finish. Can't complete thought, because completing it means admitting everything. Vanessa leans forward. Systematic evidence planting, civil rights violations, conspiracy to deprive citizens of constitutional protections under color of law. Each charge lands like physical blow. Crawford backs toward door. "I need to make a call." "To Captain Stevens?" Vanessa's question stops him cold. "Or directly to your lawyer." She pauses. "You should choose carefully. Your next decisions matter. They'll determine whether you serve 15 years or 25. Numbers too specific to be guesses, too accurate to be assumptions. She knows. Somehow this woman knows everything." Crawford flees interview room, leaves Vanessa alone with recording camera. Through walls. She hears frantic phone calls, damage control meetings, panic spreading. Officer Foster appears in doorway, young, nervous, guilty conscience visible. "Ma'am, I brought you water." Foster sets paper cup on table. Hand brushes Vanessa's briefly. Something passes between them. Understanding, alliance. Foster slips Vanessa folded piece of paper. Small, discreet. Vanessa palms it without looking. Waits until Foster leaves before reading. 4 words written in neat handwriting. FBI knows. Help coming. Relief floods through Vanessa's chest. First positive emotion since raid. Her backup knows where she is. Foster's contact suggests Mitchell's team is already working. She refolds note, tucks it into waistband, evidence for later. Stevens himself appears in doorway, captain's bars gleaming. Authority radiating, but Vanessa sees past performance, sees fear beneath command presence. Agent Bennett, not suspect, not drug dealer, agent. The acknowledgement changes everything. Pretense drops, game ends. Stevens knows who she is, knows what she represents, knows federal investigation is real. I apologize for the confusion. Stevens's voice sounds rehearsed, prepared, lawyered. All charges will be dropped pending further investigation. Vanessa stands slowly, maintains eye contact. I'd like my phone call now. Not request. Demand backed by federal authority. Stevens nods. Of course. Maya Foster stared at the body camera footage for the 47th time. The truth doesn't disappear just because you close your eyes. The equipment room feels smaller with each viewing. Monitors glow in darkness. Charging stations hum. Maya sits alone reviewing footage that will haunt her forever. Her own body camera, her own perspective, documenting her own complicity in federal crime. Timestamp reads 2:19 a.m. Crawford's hands moving in kitchen. Plastic bag sliding behind cereal boxes. Manufactured discovery 3 seconds later. Clear, unmistakable, irrefutable evidence of planting. Maya rewinds, plays it again, hoping it will change. Video remains constant. Truth doesn't negotiate. Crawford plants evidence. Crawford lies. Crawford commits federal crime. And Maya's camera captured everything. Her finger hovers over delete button. One keystroke erases evidence. Protects colleagues. Preserves career. Maintains thin blue line supposed to bind officers together. But that line feels more like noose tonight. She thinks about Vanessa Bennett's face. The calm. The composure. Legal precision suggesting professional training. Federal training. Maya runs Vanessa's name through database again. FBI Special Agent, Public Corruption Unit, 12 years of service. The words burn into retinas. They didn't arrest drug dealer. They arrested agent investigating them. And Maya's body camera proves it. Her phone buzzes. Text from Crawford. Delete the body cam footage. Equipment malfunction. Order arrives clear and direct. No ambiguity. Destroy evidence. Obstruct justice. Become complicit in cover-up. Maya stares at message. Types back slowly. Copy that. Sigh, but her finger doesn't move toward delete button. Moves toward upload function instead. Federal servers. Same servers Vanessa probably uses for evidence collection. Maya's federal law enforcement training covered proper evidence handling. Chain of custody. Documentation requirements. Federal backup protocols. She activates them now. Footage uploads. Encrypts. Backs up across 3 separate federal databases, beyond department control, beyond Crawford's reach, beyond deletion. Her conscience wars with loyalty. These men trained her, protected her, became her second family in 3 years on force. Crawford taught her traffic stops. Hoffman showed her report writing. Stevens approved her promotions. They invested in her career, trusted her. And now she's betraying them. Except they betrayed something bigger. They betrayed their oaths, their duty, the citizens they swore to protect. Maya thinks about victims. How many innocent people convicted on planted evidence? How many lives destroyed by lies packaged in police reports? How many families torn apart by systematic corruption? Database shows Crawford's arrest record. 217 cases in 15 years. How many were legitimate? How many were manufactured? Questions pile up like corpses. She opens Crawford's case files, reviews his patterns, similar tactics in dozens of arrests, anonymous tips, convenient discoveries. Evidence found in obvious locations, Same script repeated with different names, different addresses, different victims. But same corruption, same conspiracy, same systematic violation of constitutional rights. Maya's stomach turns. She was part of this, witnessed it, said nothing, did nothing, until tonight. Federal hotline number appears on her screen. Required training for all officers. Report corruption, protect whistleblowers, maintain integrity. Words that seemed abstract in academy. Concrete now. Real now. Urgent now. Her finger hovers over dial button, crosses threshold between complicity and courage, between silence and truth, between protecting colleagues and protecting justice. She doesn't call yet. Needs 48 hours to process, to think, to decide if she can live with consequences. Whistleblowers face retaliation, isolation, career destruction. Other officers will hate her. Call her traitor, rat, snitch. Labels designed to enforce silence, to maintain corruption through fear and loyalty. Maya reviews footage one more time. Vanessa's voice plays through speakers. I'm being arrested based on planted evidence. Clear, precise, accurate. Federal agent stating facts for record. Knowing backup would come. Knowing justice would prevail. Showing courage, Maya aspires to match. If Vanessa could maintain composure during false arrest, Maya can make one phone call. But not yet. 48 hours to prepare, to gather courage, to accept consequences. She closes laptop, walks through empty halls. Station feels different now, tainted, corrupted. Machine designed to produce convictions regardless of guilt. She passes Crawford's office. Door closed, lights off. He's probably home, probably sleeping, probably convinced cover-up will work like always. Maya reaches her locker, opens it, stares at uniform, the badge, the oath, the promise to serve and protect. Words that mean nothing if enforced selectively. Justice that applies only to some citizens, while others face systematic oppression. She made promise 3 years ago. Time to keep it, even if it costs everything. Footage is uploaded, secured, protected. Crawford can't delete it now, can't destroy it, can't make it disappear. Federal servers don't forget, and in 48 hours, neither will Maya Foster. At 3:47 a.m., Assistant Director Mitchell's phone buzzed with 3 words. Agent in custody. Daniel Mitchell bolts upright in bed. Secure phone glows in darkness. Federal emergency protocol. He answers on first ring. Mitchell. Handler's voice cuts through sleep instantly. Sir, this is operations. We have a situation. Mitchell's feet hit floor, already reaching for clothes. Status? Operations never calls unless critical. Agent Bennett is in Metro Police custody, drug possession charges. Arresting officers are her targets. Mitchell's jaw tightens. Vanessa Bennett, his best undercover investigator. Operation Iron Shield's cornerstone. They made her. Mind races through contingencies, backup plans, federal response protocols. Unknown, but they planted evidence. We have body camera confirmation. Mitchell activates emergency team while still on phone. Federal Rapid Response mobilizes within minutes. Tactical units, evidence specialists, internal affairs investigators. Corruption case they've been building for 2 years just became federal emergency. Where is she now? Voice stays calm, professional, but fury burns beneath surface. Metro Police holding, they're rushing county transfer. Mitchell's blood runs cold. County system buries cases. Creates jurisdictional complications, delays federal intervention. Negative, stop that transfer immediately. He's already moving. Bedroom to office, office to command center. Home transforms into federal operations hub. Sir, there's more. Agent Bennett's emergency beacon just activated. Mitchell freezes. Vanessa's beacon only activates in life-threatening situations. Protocol requires imminent danger. She's trained to endure discomfort, trained to maintain cover, trained to wait for optimal timing. If beacon activated, situation is critical. When? Voice sharpens. 30 seconds ago. Beacon signal appears on Mitchell's phone screen. GPS coordinates lock onto police station. Full federal response now. He calls his second in command. James Rodriguez. 20 years federal service. Operation Iron Shield co-architect. James, Operation Iron Shield is compromised. Bennett's in custody. Rodriguez's response comes instantly alert. How bad? Mitchell pulls on jacket, grabs weapon, checks federal credentials. They arrested our lead investigator while she was gathering evidence against them. Surveillance van mobilizes. Electronic equipment. Federal warrants, tactical gear. Mitchell's team assembles at Federal Building. Every agent assigned to Operation Iron Shield. Every investigator who spent 2 years documenting Metro Police corruption. Tonight, they execute. Tonight, they finish what Vanessa started. Mitchell briefs team in command vehicle. Agent Bennett has been undercover 18 months documenting police corruption. Tonight's arrest gives us everything we need. Rodriguez studies surveillance equipment. How so? Mitchell pulls up Vanessa's case file on laptop. 12 years of corruption investigations. Hundreds of documented violations. Dozens of officers implicated. They just provided direct evidence of conspiracy we've been investigating. Planted evidence. Illegal search. Constitutional violations. All captured on body cameras against federal agent. Surveillance van positions outside police station. Electronic equipment locks onto internal communications. Police radios crackle with nervous chatter. Officers discussing damage control, keeping stories straight, destroying evidence, every word recorded, every conspiracy documented. Mitchell listens through federal intercept equipment. Jaw clenches with each admission, each cover-up attempt, each obstruction of justice. Sir, communications officer reports, we're intercepting destruction orders. They're trying to wipe body camera footage. Mitchell opens Vanessa's digital case file. Every piece of evidence she collected, every violation she documented, every corrupt officer she identified. Too late for that. Bennett's already uploaded everything to federal servers. Surveillance van's equipment hums quietly. Federal warrants already prepared, signed, ready for execution. Mitchell checks Vanessa's beacon again, still transmitting from inside police station. Still active, still signaling distress. Team leaders prepare for immediate entry. Director, we have movement inside. They're transferring Bennett to county. Mitchell's response comes swift and absolute. Not happening. Execute federal warrants. Full jurisdiction. Local police don't know what's coming. For 2 years, Vanessa gathered evidence, planted evidence cases, false arrests, civil rights violations. She documented everything, built airtight case. And tonight, they handed her final piece. Their own crimes, committed against her, recorded, witnessed, undeniable. Mitchell Radio's legal team. Federal authority now in effect. Prepare for mass arrests. Surveillance van's equipment locks onto police stations' internal systems. Body camera servers. Evidence databases. Internal communications. Everything Vanessa needs to complete her case. Everything Mitchell needs to end corruption. Vanessa's beacon reveals she's exactly where they suspected, in heart of conspiracy, gathering final evidence that will destroy it. Mitchell speaks into radio. Voice calm. Authority absolute. All units, federal jurisdiction is now in effect. Local police think they caught their biggest threat. They just activated their worst nightmare. Vanessa Bennett sits in their custody, but she's not their prisoner. She's their prosecutor. And federal justice arrives in 15 minutes. Crawford's fingers flew across his phone. Delete everything. But FBI servers don't forget. Encrypted message sends to 5 officers. Hoffman, Stevens, 3 others implicated in operation. All part of conspiracy. All facing federal charges. All scrambling for survival. Crawford sits in car outside station. Hands shaking. Mind racing. Everything collapsing. They arrested FBI agent. Not just any agent. The agent investigating them. Operation Iron Shield. Name Vanessa spoke. Classified operation. Only federal investigators know. Phone buzzes with responses. Already working on it. Body cams offline. Evidence room secured. Replies suggest coordination. Suggest planning. Suggest they've done this before because they have, dozens of times. Cover-ups perfected through repetition, witnesses intimidated, reports falsified, evidence destroyed, systematic machine built over decades. But this time feels different. This time target isn't scared. This time federal backup is coming. Crawford accesses body camera server remotely. Department-issued laptop connects to internal network. Credentials grant administrator access. He navigates to tonight's footage, finds his camera, Hoffman's camera, Stevens' camera, all showing raid, all documenting planted evidence, all proving federal crimes. Finger hovers over delete. One command erases everything, makes tonight disappear, removes evidence of conspiracy. But system rejects command. Access denied, files protected by federal lock. Crawford stares at error message. Federal lock. How? When? Who applied it? He tries again. Same rejection, same federal protection, same barrier preventing deletion. Someone with higher authority locked files. Someone with federal clearance, someone who knew this would happen. Panic sets in. Crawford calls Stevens. Captain answers on first ring, voice tense. Tell me you deleted footage. Crawford's silence answers. Stevens curses. What do you mean you can't delete it? Crawford explains federal lock. Access denial. Protection preventing erasure. Stevens' breathing changes, faster, shallower. Fear sounds different than anger. Who could lock our files? Stevens demands. Crawford's mind races through possibilities. Only someone with federal administrator credentials, higher clearance than department level. Implication lands. Federal agents already have access, already infiltrated their systems, already protected evidence. Operation Iron Shield isn't coming, it's already here, already active, already operational. Hoffman reports from evidence room. The methamphetamine we planted is gone. Stevens stops pacing. What do you mean gone? Hoffman's voice carries confusion and terror. Someone removed it from evidence, logged out under federal seizure. Timestamp shows 3:15 a.m. 2 hours ago, while they processed Vanessa, while they panicked, while they plotted cover-up. Federal agents worked invisibly, removed evidence, protected case integrity, prepared for prosecution. Crawford tries accessing personnel files, wants to check Vanessa's full record. System denies him again. Federal investigation in progress. Access restricted. Every digital door closed. Every information source blocked. Every avenue of intelligence sealed. They're operating blind, fighting invisible opponents. Facing systematic federal response while trapped in own station, Stevens makes decision. Destroy hard evidence, physical files, paper reports, anything connecting us to previous operations. Crawford understands immediately. If federal agents have tonight's evidence, older cases remain vulnerable. Pattern evidence, prior bad acts, systematic proof of corruption. Files documenting 12 years of crimes. Stevens rushes to office, starts pulling folders, arrest reports, evidence logs, internal memos, everything documenting conspiracy, everything proving systematic violations. He feeds papers into shredder. Machine whirs steadily. Documents turn into strips. Strips turn into confetti. Evidence becoming trash, but shredder jams after 20 pages. Paper caught in blades. Stevens pulls. Tears. Tries to clear it. Machine broken. Files stuck. Evidence preserved despite destruction attempts. He curses. Grabs remaining folders. Heads toward parking lot. Plan forming. Burn them. Destroy them completely. Remove all traces. But federal agents watch everything. Surveillance equipment tracks movements. Cameras document actions. Digital forensics record destruction attempts. Stevens doesn't know he's being observed. Doesn't realize federal teams surround building. Doesn't understand Operation Iron Shield entered final phase. He carries files toward car. Federal agents photograph every folder, document every page, record every destruction attempt. Crawford receives another message. Unknown number. Federal warrants executed in 10 minutes. Recommend legal counsel. Phone drops from nerveless fingers, shatters on pavement, screen cracks, but message remains, burned into memory. 10 minutes, federal warrants, mass arrests, career destruction, freedom ending, life changing. Everything collapsing because they raided wrong apartment, arrested wrong woman, triggered wrong investigation. Hoffman sits in locker room, head in hands. 3 years on force, career barely started, already ending. He followed Crawford's orders, trusted senior officers, believed their lies, now facing federal prison, conspiracy charges, civil rights violations, 20 years minimum. Phone buzzes, same message Crawford received, same warning, same countdown, 9 minutes remaining. Stevens loads files into trunk, doesn't see federal photographers, doesn't notice surveillance equipment, doesn't realize every action is documented. He drives toward home, plans to burn evidence in backyard, destroy proof of systematic corruption. But federal agents follow 3 cars back, track movements, wait for right moment, let him commit additional crimes, obstruction of justice, destruction of evidence, conspiracy to impede federal investigation. Each action adding years to eventual sentence. Cover-up becomes worse than crime. The anonymous hotline recording began, "My name is Officer Maya Foster, and I need to report a federal crime." 48 hours passed. Maya spent them preparing, gathering courage, accepting consequences. Now she sits in car outside federal building, phone in hand, federal hotline number displayed. Finger hovers over call button. This moment changes everything. Ends career, destroys reputation, makes her pariah among officers, but saves soul. She presses call. Phone rings twice. Professional voice answers. "Federal Bureau of Investigation, how may I direct your call?" Maya's voice shakes slightly. "I need to report corruption. Police corruption." Brief pause. Different voice comes online. Male, authoritative, experienced. "This is Agent Rodriguez. Please identify yourself and your department." Maya takes deep breath. "Officer Maya Foster, Metro Police Department, 3 years service." Rodriguez's tone shifts, more focused, more intense. "Officer Foster, this call is being recorded for your protection. Are you reporting corruption within your own department?" Mouth goes dry, point of no return. "Yes, sir. I witnessed evidence planting, federal agent arrest, constitutional violations." Rodriguez's silence stretches 3 seconds, then typing sounds. Fast typing. Lots of it. "Officer Foster, can you specify which federal agent?" Maya closes eyes. "Special Agent Vanessa Bennett, FBI Public Corruption Unit, arrested 3 nights ago on false drug charges." More typing. Faster now. Urgent now. "Officer Foster, do you have evidence of these allegations?" "Yes, sir. Body camera footage, digital recordings. My own camera captured Detective Crawford planting methamphetamine during raid." Rodriguez's voice changes completely. Professional distance replaced by personal intensity. "Officer Foster, where is this footage now?" Maya's prepared for this question. Rehearsed answer. "Uploaded to federal servers, protected from department deletion, time-stamped and authenticated." "Outstanding work, Officer Foster." Rodriguez's praise feels hollow. Maya doesn't want congratulations, wants conscience clear. Wants justice served. "I need to know what happens next." Rodriguez switches to briefing mode. "Federal agents will contact you within 2 hours. You'll be placed in protective custody, given whistleblower status. Your testimony will be crucial for prosecution." Protective custody, whistleblower status, prosecution testimony. Words hit like hammers. Maya's career isn't ending. It's exploding. "Will I lose my job?" Rodriguez's answer comes honest and direct. "Possibly. But you'll be protected from retaliation under federal law. We'll ensure your safety and support your transition." Transition. Polite word for career destruction. "Officer Foster, you're doing the right thing." Rodriguez's voice carries conviction. "Corruption thrives in silence. You're breaking that silence." Maya wants to believe him, wants to feel heroic, feels terrified instead. "How many other officers are involved?" Rodriguez pauses, calculating how much to reveal. "We've been investigating this department for 2 years. Your evidence confirms 23 officers in conspiracy." 23. Maya's stomach drops. Nearly half department. Officers she works with daily, trusts, relies on. All part of systematic corruption. Who else? She needs names, needs to know which colleagues betrayed oaths. Rodriguez provides abbreviated list. Crawford, Hoffman, Stevens, Names she knows, faces she sees every shift. People who trained her, mentored her, corrupted her through example. "Officer Foster, can you come to Federal Building now?" Rodriguez's question carries urgency. "We need your formal statement. Your testimony, your evidence processed officially." Maya looks at building through windshield. Modern glass and steel. Federal authority made architectural. "I'm already here, parking lot, too nervous to come inside." Rodriguez's voice softens. "Take your time. When you're ready, ask for me at reception. Agent Daniel Rodriguez. I'll personally handle your intake." Personal handling from assistant director. Either her evidence is crucial or situation is dangerous. Probably both. Maya ends call, sits in silence, watches other officers enter and exit Federal Building, some in uniforms, some in suits, all carrying weight of difficult decisions. Phone buzzes, text from Crawford. "Where are you? Need to talk." Message feels predatory. He knows something. Suspects something. Maybe intercepted call, maybe noticed absence, maybe just paranoid. She doesn't respond. Turns off phone, removes battery. Federal training taught communication security. Time to apply it. Maya exits car, walks toward Federal Building. Each step feels heavy, weighted with consequence, implications, future uncertainty. Glass doors reflect her image. Young black woman in police uniform, badge gleaming, oath visible. She looks like cop, acts like cop, but chooses justice over loyalty, chooses constitution over conspiracy, chooses courage over complicity. Reception desk appears pristine, professional, intimidating. Maya approaches slowly. "I'm here to see Agent Rodriguez." Receptionist makes quick call, nods. "He's expecting you. 3rd floor. Room 315. Elevator ride feels eternal. Each floor countdown. Ground to first, first to second, second to third. Doors open. Hallway stretches ahead. Room 315 at end. Rodriguez waits in doorway. Tall, professional, understanding expression. "Officer Foster, thank you for coming." He extends hand. Maya shakes it. Feels weight of federal authority. Protection of federal law. Promise of federal justice. "Let's begin your statement." Rodriguez leads her into room. Recording equipment ready. Forms prepared. Federal prosecutors waiting. Maya Foster's testimony will bring down entire corrupt system, and her courage will save herself. When Vanessa walked back into that police station wearing her FBI jacket, 23 careers ended simultaneously. Dawn breaks across city. Golden light touches building tops. Most citizens sleep. Unaware federal justice mobilizes. Unaware corruption faces reckoning. Unaware systematic violations finally meet systematic response. Black SUVs surround Metro Police Station. Federal agents exit in perfect formation. Tactical gear, FBI windbreakers, weapons ready. Authority absolute. Assistant Director Mitchell leads operation personally. 12 years of preparation. 2 years of active investigation. 1 night of perfect execution. He approaches station entrance. Federal warrant in hand. Legal authority granted by federal judge. Constitutional power backing every action. Behind him, 40 federal agents take positions. Every entrance covered, every exit blocked. Every escape route sealed. Inside station, morning shift arrives. Officers clock in, coffee brewing. Routine beginning. Normal day starting. Until front doors burst open. Federal agents pour through. Tactical teams. Evidence specialists. Legal experts. Internal affairs investigators. Station floods with federal authority. Mitchell's voice booms across room. Federal Bureau of Investigation. This facility is now under federal jurisdiction. Officers scatter like startled birds. Some reach for weapons. Others raise hands instinctively. Confusion. Panic. Fear spreading like virus. Mitchell's command cuts through chaos. Stand down. All personnel will comply with federal authority. Voice carries absolute confidence. Complete control. Undeniable power. Officers freeze. Hands visible. Weapons holstered. Compliance automatic when facing overwhelming force. Stevens emerges from office. Face pale. Hands visible. Director Mitchell, this is irregular. Mitchell approaches him directly. No hesitation, no diplomacy. "Captain Richard Stevens, you're under arrest for conspiracy to violate civil rights under color of law." Federal agents move immediately. Handcuffs applied. Rights read. Career ended. Stevens' face transforms. Color draining. Expression collapsing. Reality crushing. Crawford backs against wall. Trapped. Cornered. Nowhere to run. Mitchell signals team. "Detective Marcus Crawford, you're under arrest for evidence tampering, false imprisonment and deprivation of rights under color of law." Crawford's voice cracks. "This is insane. We're police officers." Mitchell's expression stays cold. "You were police officers, now you're defendants." Federal agents swarm building. Evidence teams secure computers. Technical specialists download body camera footage. Legal experts serve warrants. Systematic federal response overwhelming, precise, unstoppable. Machine of justice operating at full capacity. Hoffman stands frozen. Disbelief painted across features. Mitchell approaches him next. "Sergeant Kyle Hoffman, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit civil rights violations." Front doors open again. Vanessa Bennett enters. No longer in handcuffs. No longer in custody. Wearing FBI windbreaker now. Federal credentials displayed prominently. Badge gleaming. Authority restored. Entire station goes silent. Officers stare. Recognition dawning. Understanding crashing. She wasn't their victim. She was their judge. Mitchell holds up Vanessa's badge for everyone to see. Special Agent Vanessa Bennett, lead investigator, Operation Iron Shield. Shock hits room like physical wave. Officers' faces transform, understanding, horror, realization. Vanessa wasn't investigating abstract corruption. She was investigating them. Specifically, personally, systematically, for 12 years. Mitchell continues, voice carrying to every corner. "Agent Bennett has been investigating this department for 12 years. 12 years. Number echoes, repeats, compounds. Officers calculate, remember, realize. How many arrests in 12 years? How many raids? How many planted evidence cases? All observed. All documented. All recorded by federal agents standing before them." Vanessa steps forward. Voice carries federal authority, professional precision, absolute confidence. Every illegal search, every planted drug charge, every civil rights violation, documented. She pulls out encrypted phone, device they ignored during raid, evidence they overlooked, bomb they failed to defuse. 2,000 hours of surveillance footage, 300 recorded conversations, 67 documented evidence plantings. Numbers hit like sledgehammers, concrete, specific, overwhelming, not allegations, facts, not suspicions, proof, not theories, evidence. Mitchell takes over. Agent Bennett's investigation has yielded federal indictments against 23 officers. 23. Nearly half department. Conspiracy's scope revealed, corruption's depth exposed, systems rot displayed. Vanessa opens case file. Federal documentation spanning 12 years. Detective Marcus Crawford. 17 confirmed evidence plantings, 43 illegal searches, 26 constitutional violations. Crawford's knees buckle. Weight of evidence crushing. Weight of truth destroying. Sergeant Kyle Hoffman. 22 evidence tamperings, 31 false arrest reports, conspiracy to obstruct justice. Hoffman slumps against wall. Career demolished, future destroyed, freedom ending. Captain Richard Stevens. Conspiracy to operate criminal enterprise under color of law, systematic violation of citizens' constitutional rights. Stevens closes eyes, accepts defeat. Acknowledges truth. Vanessa continues reading. Each name, each crime, each piece of evidence meticulously documented. Mitchell addresses room one final time. Operation Iron Shield has documented systematic corruption spanning 2 decades. 20 years. Timeline stretches back further than anyone imagined. Federal evidence teams wheel out computers, servers, file cabinets, body cameras. Everything containing potential evidence. Systematic dismantling of corrupt system. Maya Foster watches from corner, relief washing over her. She made right choice, chose truth over loyalty, chose justice over conspiracy. Vanessa approaches Crawford, faces him directly, no anger, no triumph, just cold professional assessment. You had 17 years to stop, to reform, to choose justice. Instead, you chose corruption. Crawford can't meet her eyes, can't face woman he tried to frame, can't acknowledge agent who documented his crimes. Mitchell signals teams, transport defendants to federal holding. Federal marshals move efficiently, cuffing officers, reading rights, loading vehicles. Station empties of corrupt police, fills with federal authority. Vanessa watches them leave. 12 years of work culminating, 12 years of patience rewarded, 12 years of justice finally delivered. The digital forensics report was 847 pages long. Crawford's encrypted messages filled 214 of them. Federal courthouse, 6 months later. Corruption trial of decade. Packed courtroom, media everywhere, public watching, history recording. Vanessa sits at prosecutor's table. 12 years of investigation condensed into evidence boxes stacked 10 feet high. Assistant U.S. Attorney Sarah Chen presents government's case. Young, brilliant, relentless. Perfect prosecutor for massive corruption trial. Chen approaches jury. Ladies and gentlemen, this case is about systematic betrayal of public trust. Voice carries conviction, clarity, authority. For 20 years, officers in Metro Police Department operated criminal enterprise. They planted evidence, fabricated reports, destroyed lives, all under color of law. Jury listens intently. Diverse group, different backgrounds, united purpose, justice. The evidence you'll see is overwhelming. Chen activates courtroom monitors. Body camera footage appears. Crawford's raid on Vanessa's apartment. Crystal clear. Undeniable. Jury watches Crawford plant methamphetamine. Watches him manufacture discovery. Watches him commit federal crime. Expressions shift. Shock, disgust, anger. Chen pauses video. This is Detective Marcus Crawford planting evidence in federal agent's home. Federal agent. Detail matters. Chen emphasizes it. Agent Vanessa Bennett spent 12 years investigating this department. On night of her arrest, she had documented 67 evidence-planting operations. 67. Number hits hard. Crawford's attorney objects. Relevance, Your Honor. Judge Harrison, veteran federal judge, overrules immediately. Pattern is relevant. Continue, Ms. Chen. Chen presents Maya Foster's body camera footage. Different angle. Same crime. Maya's perspective showing Crawford's hands. Plastic bag, cabinet, performance, corroborating evidence, multiple perspectives, overwhelming proof. Officer Maya Foster became federal whistleblower. Her courage exposed this conspiracy. Maya sits in gallery, wearing civilian clothes now, no longer police officer, career sacrificed for truth, dignity intact. Digital forensics evidence comes next. Chen projects Crawford's encrypted messages on screens. Delete everything. Body cams offline. Evidence room secured. Each message proves conspiracy, proves coordination, proves systematic operation. Jury reads carefully, taking notes, understanding scope. These messages were sent after officers realized they'd arrested federal agent. Defense attorney Marcus Webb stands, expensive suit, polished appearance, desperate strategy. Your Honor, my client's messages show concern about proper evidence handling. Chen doesn't let it stand. Your Honor, these messages show obstruction of justice, destruction of evidence, conspiracy to impede federal investigation. Judge Harrison nods. Jury will consider context. Vanessa takes stand, sworn in. 12 years of investigation compressed into testimony. Chen approaches gently. Agent Bennett, please tell jury about Operation Iron Shield. Vanessa's voice stays professional, calm, factual. Operation Iron Shield began 12 years ago. Our investigation documented systematic police corruption, evidence planting, false arrests, civil rights violations. How many cases did you document? Chen asks. Vanessa provides exact numbers. 67 evidence-planting operations, 143 illegal searches, 217 civil rights violations. Numbers stagger jury, scope overwhelms, systematic nature appalls. And these violations occurred over what time period? Vanessa looks directly at Crawford. 20 years, affecting approximately 400 citizens, 400 victims, 400 lives destroyed, 400 families torn apart. Weight crushes courtroom. Webb cross-examines aggressively. Agent Bennett, isn't it true you orchestrated your own arrest? Vanessa doesn't flinch. I allowed corrupt officers to commit crimes against me. Yes, Webb presses. So you entrapped them? Vanessa's response cuts clean. Entrapment requires inducing someone to commit crimes they wouldn't otherwise commit. These officers had 20 years of similar crimes. Defense crumbles. Webb tries character attacks, questions Vanessa's motives, suggests career advancement. Nothing sticks. Her record speaks louder. 15 years federal service, hundreds of successful prosecutions, impeccable reputation. Unimpeachable integrity. Jury sees through defensive tactics, sees truth, sees justice. Chen presents financial evidence. Detective Crawford signed out evidence room methamphetamine under false case numbers. Sergeant Hoffman maintained off-books evidence supplies. Captain Stevens approved budgets for illegal operations. Paper trail connects conspiracy. Money follows crime. Documentation proves systematic enterprise. Victim testimony devastates defense. Former defendants wrongly convicted on planted evidence. Lives destroyed. Careers ended. Families torn apart. One after another they take stand. Tell their stories. Show their pain. Jury's expressions harden with each testimony. Anger builds. Disgust deepens. Justice demands satisfaction. Chen's closing argument synthesizes everything. For 20 years, these men wore badges while committing crimes. They betrayed every citizen who trusted them. They destroyed hundreds of lives. They corrupted justice itself. Agent Bennett spent 12 years building this case. Officer Foster risked everything to expose it. The evidence is overwhelming. The crimes are undeniable. Justice requires conviction. Webb's closing argument falls flat. Mistakes were made, judgment errors, but no criminal intent. Jury's faces show disbelief. No one believes him. Evidence too strong, crimes too clear, conspiracy too obvious. Judge Harrison instructs jury. You must determine guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Consider all evidence. Apply law fairly. Reach verdict based on facts. Jury deliberates 6 hours. Returns with verdict forms. Courtroom silent, tension thick. Judge reads. On charge of conspiracy to violate civil rights, how do you find? Foreman stands. Guilty. Word echoes, reverberates, confirms. Crawford's face goes white. Stevens closes eyes. Hoffman drops head. Each subsequent charge guilty. Guilty, guilty. Justice delivered. Truth confirmed. 12 years of investigation validated in unanimous verdicts. The jury foreman stood. 12 years of investigation came down to one word. Guilty. Judge Harrison reviews verdict forms. 23 defendants. Hundreds of charges. Systematic justice finally served. Has the jury reached verdict on all counts? Foreman nods firmly. We have, Your Honor. Courtroom holds collective breath. Media cameras focus. Public watches. History records. Crawford sits rigid. Face drained of color. Career destroyed. Freedom ending. Life changing forever. On count 1, conspiracy to violate civil rights under color of law. How do you find defendant Marcus Crawford? Foreman's voice carries clearly. Guilty. The word hits like hammer. Crawford's attorney slumps. Defense demolished. Evidence overwhelming. Conspiracy proven. On count 2, evidence tampering. Guilty. Count 3, false imprisonment. Guilty. Each verdict echoes through courtroom, building momentum, creating rhythm of justice. Guilty, guilty, guilty. 23 counts. 23 guilty verdicts. Perfect record of conviction. Crawford's face transforms from denial to acceptance to despair. Reality crushing. Truth destroying. Justice delivered. Stevens receives same treatment. Guilty on all counts. Conspiracy to operate criminal enterprise, civil rights violations, obstruction of justice. His military posture collapses. Shoulders slump. Head drops. Captain's bars that once symbolized authority now represent corruption exposed. Hoffman follows. Younger. Less experienced. But equally guilty. Conspiracy charges, evidence tampering, false arrest reports. All guilty, all proven, all punished. Sentencing phase begins 2 weeks later. Judge Harrison presides with stern dignity. This court has witnessed systematic betrayal of public trust, spanning 2 decades. 400 citizens suffered under your criminal enterprise, lives destroyed, families torn apart. Justice corrupted. His words carry weight of institutional authority, moral condemnation, legal judgment. Victims speak during impact statements. First is James Morrison, wrongly convicted on planted cocaine charge, served 5 years, lost job, lost family, lost future. Detective Crawford destroyed my life with lies packaged in plastic bag. I lost everything, my wife, my children, my career. 5 years stolen by corruption. His voice breaks. Courtroom silent, tears visible. Next comes Sarah Williams, falsely arrested for methamphetamine possession. Evidence planted during traffic stop. 3 years prison. Criminal record preventing employment. I told them I was innocent. Nobody believed me. Now I know why. They manufactured evidence. They manufactured my guilt. They manufactured my conviction. Her anger palpable. Her pain undeniable. Her justice overdue. 20 more victims testify. Each story unique. Each outcome similar. Lives destroyed by systematic corruption. Chen presents statistical analysis. 400 victims over 20 years. Average sentence 2 years. Total stolen freedom 680 years. Total economic impact $47 million. Systematic destruction of constitutional rights. Judge Harrison addresses defendants directly. You swore oaths to serve and protect. Instead, you served yourselves and protected corruption. You weaponized badges. You perverted justice. You destroyed lives systematically and deliberately. This court must impose sentences reflecting gravity of your crimes and deterring future corruption. Marcus Crawford, you led this criminal enterprise. 17 documented evidence plantings, 43 illegal searches, 26 civil rights violations, pattern of systematic oppression spanning 15 years. Crawford stands, face emotionless, accepting inevitable. I sentence you to 18 years in federal prison. No parole, no reduction. Full term mandatory. 18 years. Crawford's remaining youth consumed by consequence. Career ended. Reputation destroyed. Freedom stolen by justice he corrupted. Richard Stevens, as commanding officer, you enabled and directed this conspiracy. Your authority facilitated systematic violations. You corrupted institutional integrity. Stevens stands with visible effort. I sentence you to 14 years federal prison. Kyle Hoffman, your participation enabled this enterprise. 22 evidence tamperings, 31 false reports. You chose corruption over duty. Hoffman's hands shake. I sentence you to 10 years federal prison. Each sentence documented, each punishment proportional, each consequence earned through systematic criminal behavior. 20 remaining defendants receive sentences ranging from 8 to 15 years. Total prison time, 287 years. Average sentence, 12. 5 years per defendant. Message clear. Corruption faces consequences. Systematic violations face systematic punishment. Justice delayed becomes justice delivered. After sentencing, Vanessa stands outside courthouse. Media surrounds her, questions flying. Agent Bennett, how does it feel to complete 12-year investigation? She considers carefully. Justice requires patience. These convictions represent hundreds of victims finally vindicated. Systematic corruption faced systematic response. The process works when investigators persist. What's your message to other departments? Reporter pushes microphone closer. Vanessa's answer carries weight of experience. Corruption thrives in silence. It withers under scrutiny. Citizens must demand accountability. Officers must report violations. Institutions must support whistleblowers. Change happens when people refuse to accept systematic injustice. Maya Foster stands beside Vanessa, no longer police officer, now federal task force member. Career transformed through courage. Officer Foster risked everything to expose this corruption. Her testimony proved crucial. Her courage exemplifies true law enforcement. Maya's sacrifice acknowledged. Her choice validated. Her future secured through moral courage. Mitchell approaches from federal vehicle. Outstanding work, Bennett. The corruption unit wants to discuss your next assignment. Vanessa's eyebrows raise. What's the case? Mitchell's expression grows serious. Immigration detention facilities, systematic abuse allegations, could take years to build. Years of undercover work, patient evidence gathering, methodical justice building. I'll take it. This is what she does, who she is. Federal agent, truth seeker, justice builder. Reform doesn't happen overnight. But it happens one corrupt system at a time. One patient investigation at a time. One courageous decision at a time. Crawford serves 18 years. Stevens 14. Hoffman 10. Their victims receive compensation. Their crimes enter permanent record. Vanessa Bennett returns to field, ready to spend another 12 years building next case, because corruption hides in darkness. But federal agents work in light, and light always wins, eventually. The community rebuilds, system reforms, truth survives, one case at a time, one patient investigation at a time, justice served through dedication, persistence, and unwavering commitment to constitutional law. Thank you to everyone who typed justice and shared your locations with us. Seeing this global community united for accountability and truth proves that justice is a universal human value. If this story moved you, please subscribe for more stories of courage triumphing over corruption. Until next time, remember that truth doesn't disappear. It waits for the right moment to surface.